Good evening or morning, it's Renee Ahmedi, and this is just a little prenatal yoga video where we're going to focus on the shoulders and the neck. I've been at the hospital, so I have a lot of tension myself from lots of hip squeezes and lots of energy out. And often I focus on the legs and the hips, and we'll do a little bit, but the focus will be more on the shoulders this evening. If you'd like to grab a couple of yoga blocks or cushions or bolsters, whatever you've got handy, that would be great. We'll have a slightly shorter practice tonight, just because my energy is low, but we'll get into all the sweet spots, and I'll also include a link for a previously recorded video that's a little longer, so you can choose something shorter, something longer, and for those that have already done that one, this is a fresh little piece. So just put your blocks to the side, roll the shoulders up and back a couple of times, taking a few soft breaths in through the nose. Nice and slow. Nice, and just gently reversing that. Don't worry about it if it feels a little awkward or clunky. And gently bringing your gaze up, resting your hands on the thighs, and just taking a moment to notice how you're coming into this practice. If it's been a restful day, maybe a really busy day, you haven't really connected to yourself or connected to your beautiful babies. And just taking your hands and actually just welcoming them into practice, bringing them into this class with you as active participants. As you breathe, I want you to come into some full spectrum belly breaths. As you inhale, the belly expands. Your hands move away from the spine. And then as you exhale, you'll hear that breath. Maybe purse your lips or soften your jaw. And then your hands and belly will move in towards the spine. It's okay if there's not a huge difference. And just bring both of your hands up to your chest. Please gently pull the muscles of the chest down, feeling the pecs draw down, and then tuck your elbows in and just lift the heart. Draw the scapula down your back and lift through the top of the throat. Nice. And gently release your hands to your rib cage. So the thumbs come to the back, fingers to the front. I just want you to really kind of lift up the ladies, whoop, right? Feel the weight, and then I want you to lift up through the rib cage and feel that support as well, so that you're finding that expansion and contraction through the rib cage. I'm actually pulling the intercostal muscles, that flesh, up a little bit, and then bringing my elbows back. Last one, nice and big. And exhale. Releasing that. We'll start to find a little bit of movement. So circling. And there's no huge instruction here. This is such a basic movement. I really want you to feel that in your body. Just notice as you start to move, do you feel that in your low back? Do you feel, this isn't a crazy hip opener, but sitting cross-legged can be if you don't do it a lot. It's not considered one, but it really depends on what your body does on the daily and what you're feeling and where you are in your pregnancy, right? And let's just gently go the other way. You can bring kind of one shoulder in and one shoulder back if that feels juicy and good in your body. I'm recording in the evening, so I'm hoping this uploads so I can send it to you. I usually record with a bit more natural light, so apologies for the kind of glaring light. And we'll just reverse it a little minute. One more time, forward and back. Just a little release it up tall, and we'll cross legs the other way. We're going to go side to side after we do the circles, so just find that circle. Again, don't necessarily feel like there's a way to do this right or wrong. Just move a little bit and notice, how does your body feel today? I typically practice every day, and I haven't. I've been really living I had a couple of really complicated births, and I've been back and forth helping people, and so I'm feeling that in my body. Also about to menstruate, so I really feel that kind of achiness that probably you guys feel, switching it up. Anyway, so I always feel like I can relate. Good. Notice again, do you want to bring one shoulder in, one shoulder back, or not? Good. And we'll just kind of do a little forward and back release. Sit up nice and tall. Good. We're going to do a few more spinal waves. And so this movement, this curl and this flexion, even though we are moving, that is kind of the same thing. We're just moving as we go. But a traditional spinal wave, I can just give you a little look from the side, is this movement of like the cat-cow, or that extension and flexion. Okay? And I really want you to feel like the movement begins at the tailbone and moves up to the crown of the head. So we're undulating the spine back and forth, really getting the spinal fluid moving, which is so nourishing. And I believe it's truly the most important movement to keep our spines healthy and to keep our brains healthy, okay? If there's one thing you do, you'll find that you'll kind of naturally do that through the day because you can feel yourself coming out of alignment. Let's hold on to the knees and just round in. Exhale, and just draw in gently on the knees and give the back of the neck a little time and a little space. Just breathing here. Don't force the chin down, but just allow it to be soft. And then the next natural inhalation, start to draw in on the knees, lift the heart, lift your gaze. Inhale. And exhale the other way. And let's make sure the pelvic floor, the core is part of this. So we relax the belly and the pelvic floor as we lift, and then tone. So it's the pelvic floor drawing the belly in. We're not compressing the belly onto a full belly, full breath, and giving pressure downward, okay? Really, the only time you do that is when you're trying to push something out. So you're pushing out a bowel movement or you're pushing out a baby, right? So otherwise, we want to make sure that that tone is drawing up and in and supported by the spine. Let's do two more. Nice. Sit up tall. Okay, and we'll just cross the legs again the other way. I always like to keep switching it up. Give yourself a little rock. Remember that you can sit up. The back of your pelvis can be propped up on the back of a cushion or a blanket. If you find you have a tendency to slouch, a little bit of that prop just helps you sit up a little taller. Okay, and then I'd just like you to take something, a book, a cushion, something between the hands, okay? And I want you, if you have a yoga block, that's great. We're just gonna reach the arms up and then drop the shoulders down. So really feeling like it's a dropping down, it's a reaching back, but we're not kind of doing this. So just drawing that down and then finding that block, compressing the block between the hands and just breathing here, feeling length through the back of the body. Nice. And I want you to continue with that pelvic floor breathing, really feeling the tone. Good. Really using the pelvic floor to stay erect, to feel that stabilization from the inside out. Lean up, lean over, and then we're going to bring it over to the right. Press your hands down, even if it's a cushion, so stay where you are, even if it's a cushion, and you're holding that cushion here. It doesn't matter. The point is that spaciousness between the shoulders, we're dropping the shoulders down, and we're reaching over. And it's a little extra weight here. It's work. I want you to plug that left hip down, and then we're just going to turn our torso towards the left. Inhale, turn towards the right. Good. Working the spine. It's probably really hard because you've got a little extra weight and this isn't a natural movement. Good. And we're going to gently put your cushion, your block away, interlace your fingers and stretch it over. Reach to the right. Give your head a little release here. Inhale, come up. And exhale. Do that a couple times. Good. A little shoulder roll. Interlace the fingers at the low back. Draw down. Open up the tops of the shoulders. Letting the hands go, giving a little shoulder roll. We're just going to bring the hands to the back of the head, hold the head, and lean back a little bit. Again, just broadening. Releasing gently, letting that go. Oh yeah, feeling that tingle. Reverse the cross of the legs again. Give a little movement. We will get off our bums in a moment. Let's do the other side. So we've switched the cross of the legs. We've got the block or the cushion back again. And we're going to reach up. Start with an exaggerated kind of hunchy situation. And then bring the shoulders away from the ears. Draw up through the pelvic floor. Knit the ribs in so that you're not popping. We're not doing a back bend. You have the block here. And then just drop the shoulders. So this is really amazing core work, even though it's super simple, right? So really helping us kind of counter scoliosis and a lot of the imbalances and the kind of twists and slight rotations that can carry on post-natally. So just watching to really notice if you have a tendency to turn one way, do that modest and kind of humble work of just finding alignment again and again in simple ways. I always find this challenging, but it's simple. It's simple, challenging work. It's still really important. We'll inhale, reach the arms up, and then bring it over to your left. Really draw the shoulders down the back, push the arms over. Good. And we're going to find a little rotation. So turning to the left, and then turning your gaze up to kind of where the ceiling meets the wall, beyond your right elbow, and then finding that exhale down. It's always good to warm up the shoulders, and often we do a lot of stuff on our hands and knees where the shoulders get that type of strength, that pushing down, but countering gravity. Inhale, reach up, and then exhale down slowly. Good, one more time, reach up, and exhale. Awesome, good. Please bring your feet together, open and close your knees or your butterfly wings a couple of times. Give your shoulders a rock and a roll. And then we're just going to bring a little bit of movement in. Take the opposite clasp behind the head and just lean back, sit up nice and tall here. Nice. Inhale, look up. And then exhale, we're going to round in around the belly, just a little gentle drawing in through the chin. Nice. And softly come up. Good. And we're just going to come in and out. This stretch usually feels really good in pregnant bodies. Scoot back so you can see me a little bit better. Yeah. Rocking in and out. And of course, if you had a block handy, you could hold on to the blocks out here just to be a little higher, especially if you're very close to your due date. Just the belly starts to get more in the way until it drops, and then until there's a baby. Good. Wow, there's been a lot of babies I shouldn't say disappearing from this group, because, you know, they're moving to the baby group after. But yeah, lots of babies have come since this class began. Let's sit up nice and tall. Maybe come down, curl the chin in. And just feeling that lovely little stretch to the back of the neck and letting the shoulders completely relax here. And softly coming up. Good. And we'll just stretch the legs out long for a moment. You can bring your hands behind you and just kind of windshield wiper the legs side to side. Good. I'm putting together a really short class today without a lot of lunges and hip openers, because one of my students was asking for that, and the other class that I'll upload does have, oh, sorry. I will just, there we go. What am I doing with finance? Yeah, the other class has a lot of hips and leg stuff, so this one will be really focusing on the shoulders. Okay, so I want you to come over to your hands and knees, and I want you to find a chair, and if you don't have a chair handy, doesn't matter, you can use an ottoman or anything to lean onto. For this, probably best that it's not a birth ball, just for stability. So I'll give you a minute to find a chair. And just find your hands and knees. Just give yourself a little circle here, circling the hips, taking some breaths. Going the other way. And a little rock forward and back. Just a little bit of movement here for the pelvis. I always like to sink my hips in a little bit. Good. Maybe taking the child's pose. Let's just reach it forward, bringing the forehead down. We'll come back here in a few. Giving your forehead a little rock here, side to side. Reach through the fingertips and then round up. So you're pulling through the hands, bringing the knees forward, and then again, just finding hands and knees. We'll do a few of the cat-cows. We've already done this shape. Grip with your fingertips, pull the fingers in, and begin the movement with the tailbone coming down, lift up through the heart. And then exhale, tailbone leads. Good. Good. And just coming back to your neutral. Okay, from here, just check in with your knees that they're underneath the hips, hands under the shoulders. And just bring your right hand to your chest. And with the inhale, you're going to open up that right shoulder. So you're finding some rotation here. And this exhale the other way. So you're drawing the right elbow in. Just finding rotation through the spine. And in. Really drawing that right elbow in. Good. The next time you open, inhale. Good. Just bringing the top of your right hand to your sacrum. Just finding a bit more rotation there. Beautiful. And we'll switch sides. So the left hand comes to the chest. We're going to inhale, open to the left. Exhale, kind of draw that left elbow through the gap. Moving at your own pace. And last one, we'll open up, stay open, just pressing into that right hand and gently release. Good. Good, we're just going to do a couple more things here. So we're going to make sure you've got the chair handy. And I want you to actually, this is one of my favorite things, and I realize, I don't think I've taught it yet to this group. So elbows come onto the chair, and you're going to move your knees back so that they're underneath your hips. And then your elbows push into the chair, hands come into prayer position, and you're going to drop back. I want you to choose how far back you go. My forehead comfortably comes to the chair, and then you can sink your chest down a little bit. Sink your chest into that spaciousness underneath your face. And I'm taking a little bit of a tilt of the tailbone, and that feels really good in my body, and you can decide for yourself, oh yeah. Hands can stay forward, so you can reach them forward, or you can reach them back behind your head. I think today I'm actually going to reach them forward. That feels just lovely. And drop my chest even more. Again, you can wiggle your knees back further if it feels better. Okay, if you have a little gap between the seat and the back of the chair, you can hold on there. You can hold on to your forearms. And just breathe into this deep stretch. The armpits, the chest, the shoulders. There's a tendency to hold the breath. And if you feel like you've gone too far, just gently come back a little bit. We can always repeat this. This short video is the type that is intended to be repeated. It's doable. It's not strenuous. So just finding that. We're gently preparing to come up. So I'm just going to bring my arms back forward, walk my knees in. Good. And just gently find my kind of child's pose chair stretch. So here, feet can come to one side. Good. Good. Just turning off the light. Good. And coming into a Shavasana. And if lying on your back or lying on your side doesn't feel as good as this is your little mini Shavasana. Just finding child's pose. Okay, and if you prefer child's pose on the floor with your head down, that's fine. This can feel really nice to Just let your toes and your fingers relax, the shoulders. Give yourself a little wiggle as you settle. And Shavasana is about a surrender, which is really important practice. Surrendering expectations, surrendering some control. If that makes you feel fearful, it's even more important to practice it in small, tangible ways with your body, with your mind. Nice. Just going to gently turn this off and let you enjoy the rest of your evening or day. Have a good one.